everyone! It is morning where I am. And I mean, it is morning. Whew. So, if you follow my YouTube channel, which, of course you do, you will know that last night I uploaded a review of the newish television show, Unexplained and Unexplored. The first episode, I finally got around to watching it and did a video react, and I will be doing reacts to the rest of them. I think there's only like 8 episodes. I'm pretty sure I can survive that. So my full review, I'll link it in the show notes. The full review's there. It's long, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's like an hour long, but then again, the show was 45 minutes. So I just basically watch the show and give you lots of commentary. And so what I wanted to talk about today, though, is the title of the show. I'm not done talking about this show in pieces. So what I wanted to talk about was the title of the show, which the first episode of the first season is called Ghost Ship of the Damned. So when you hear something like that, Ghost Ship of the Damned, I mean, the first thing you're thinking is ghosts. And of the damned usually is like some kind of indicator of, you know, infernal demonic forces. I don't know, I don't want to get like too weird about it, but I find it interesting that the show decided to use a title that is so closely linked to the paranormal, but then there is absolutely nothing about the paranormal in the show. And I find this interesting in a academic kind of way because of my I feel like this links nicely into my paranormal archaeology blog that I have, because though I am using the paranormal archaeology blog to look at the paranormal archaeologically, I think this also fits in because it's the use of the paranormal to hype something pseudoarchaeological. So the show at no point claims to be an archaeology show. It claims to be an explorer show, and then they dig some holes. Anyway, the things that they are doing in the show are a combination of what people think archaeology is and, well, basically looting. I'm just amazed. You really need to go, if you want to watch my brain explode, go watch my review of the show. But anyway, what they're doing in the show is never claimed to be archaeology, but the methods and the stuff that they're using are archaeological-ish methods. But really what it kind of throws me back to is antiquarianism and the idea of, you know, adventuring into foreign countries and investigating exoticism and everything that isn't normal to the culture from where the people are from is... Get down! Sorry, my cats were destroying my Christmas decorations. So the show is very much playing up to, you know, exoticism and antiquarianism and Orientalism, really, even though they're only in Mexico for this one. Ish. Yeah, they're in the Sea of Cortez. Yeah, they crossed the border to get there. Anyway, so anyway, the show is doing all of these things that archaeology already went through and kind of found coping mechanisms for and decided were not good things for archaeology to be doing, and so hypothetically we stopped on paper. So my point is even though it's not a show about archaeology, it's still an archaeology show. I hope some of that made sense. Anyway, because I classify this show as an archaeology show, and because they use the title Ghost Ship of the Damned, which is, of course, a paranormal reference. So because of these two things, it very much comes together as the paranormalizing of archaeology. And this is a topic that I find fascinating in general. And there are others like Dr. Card, Jeb Card's book, Spooky Archaeology, which is all about the supernaturalizing and paranormalizing of archaeology. And there are several other books on the market that are about the use of the paranormal to explain the past. And, you know, just in general, like, everybody likes a good spooky story. Like, that's just what it boils down to. Everybody really enjoys a good ghost story. And we don't care what time of year it is. I mean, I love horror movies. And so, like, there's nothing wrong with that at all. But what you find, you know, time and time again, is you find the act of archaeology or the results of archaeology, usually it's like the results of archaeology, being heavily connected to the paranormal. And I don't think the show and its title is any different, even though the show itself, like the actual show footage, didn't have anything paranormal in it at all. Like, they never discussed ghosts, they never discussed like a curse, they never discussed anything paranormal. They didn't even discuss like local superstitions. There was no mention of the paranormal in that show at all, except in the title of the show. And that, I think, was a clickbait title. That's fine. Clickbait, like, annoys the crap out of me, yes, but I understand why it exists and I understand how it works, so, like, it doesn't make me mad, you know? I don't know, I have a different relationship with clickbait than a lot of other people. Like, I don't hate clickbait. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm good at spotting it, and so, like, I don't think about it that way. But again, I didn't even know the title of this episode until I started reacting to it, so I didn't go into the show thinking that it was a supernatural show. Though, if I had, especially with the title of the show being Unexplained and Unexplored, and then the first show title is called Ghost Ship of the Damned, if I didn't know anything about the show and all I had was the title of the show and the episode, I would have thought it was a paranormal topic. I would have watched it because I like paranormal shows about paranormal topics. I would have watched it and I would still have been disappointed. It would not have improved the show in any way, shape, or form. But so yeah, I mean, that's both the title of the show in general and the title of the episode were both designed to grab a certain demographic's attention. And, you know, then they throw in the pseudoarchaeology, a very misunderstood field publicly still, apparently. And, you know, they we're adventurers. And, you know, one of the guys, he's been in like 3 different war zones or something. I don't know what he was doing in those 3 different war zones. They never really say. I mean, I assume he was some kind of reporter or possibly an actual soldier. I don't know. I don't actually care. But the show was very insistent that I know that he's been in like 3 active war zones. And, you know, I mean, it's just the usual hype. Here's your man card. Rawr! Rugged men doing rugged man things. And then they also throw in the paranormal. So, I mean, you can tell who their demographic is. And both of the guys on the show are, you know, not ancient. They both look pretty young, actually, even to me. I'm old. And yeah, so they're definitely reaching for a certain demographic that is, you know, a young male audience that is, you know, into adventure programming and also likes the paranormal and the unexplained. And because of that, you know, because archaeology is not well known, well understood, and because there's this tendency to paranormalize the past. Paranormalize is a word, by the way. That's a hill I'm gonna die on. But because it's so easy to tag paranormal and ghost stories onto any culture's history, because there's this loss of memory. Dr. Card talks about it in his book, and I know a few other authors talk about it, but it's this loss of memory, loss of history within a culture that allows for the paranormalizing of its past. And archaeology kind of is a tool for that sometimes. And you see that in this show, you know, we're going to go be adventurers. We're going to go look for the unexplained and the unexplored. You know, we're going to go dig up mysteries, and we're going to investigate things that have never been looked at before. And they really do kind of play up that never been looked at, never been seen, lost, forgotten. They use those words in the show. And I think that's as close as we get to any kind of paranormal talk, really, in the actual show. But then they also, to make that connection, they also use a title for the show that is heavily loaded with buzzwords for people who are interested in the paranormal. So yeah, it's a clickbait title to get you to go watch their show. My opinion of the show is in my review. And I'm going to make one more video about this episode right after this, because I've got the camera set up, I might as well. But I just really wanted to bring to everyone's attention the paranormal connection between the Pseudoarchaeology show and the title of the show. And the show itself, again, there's nothing paranormal in the actual show, but if you didn't know better and you just went with the title of the show and the title of the episode, you would think that this is a show that's about paranormal adventuring. And I don't know, maybe as the season goes on, because there's like 6 or 8 episodes, maybe we do get into some more paranormal-esque topics, but this episode was not it. However, they still use the idea of the paranormal and the connection between the paranormal and archaeology to dig up interest in the show. Dig up. See, I can make puns. But I think I've rambled about this particular thing long enough. I hope if you have any questions about it, send me a comment or question. Like and follow me here. Click the bell. What else am I supposed to tell you to do? Oh, go to my Patreon if you like what I'm doing and you want to buy me coffee. I do also have a Ko-fi account. But yeah, so if you've seen the show, let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below. Let's start a conversation about this. And I can't wait to hear what other people who may or may not have watched the show think about this connection between paranormal and the archaeology. Anyway, talk to everybody later.